This week's show is brought to you by Venice Beach Beverage. Try their delicious line of ginger teas with 100% daily vitamins in every can. And make sure you try my favorite, Black Cherry. Visit them online at venicebeachbeverage.com.
The following episode is intended for mature audiences only. Listener discretion is advised. Good day, mates.
What's good, everybody? This is Rickie Lee, and this week's episode is part of a two-part series. Make sure to join us next week for the conclusion. Enjoy.
Let's count it off. 1. Yeah, we gonna show you all to have fun.
Welcome back, ladies and gents, lovers and friends, to another amazing episode on this frequency. What's up, homegirl? How are you?
Sunburnt and Krispy Kreme.
You look a little sunburnt. I share the sentiment. I'm a little burnt myself, and I'm just loving it.
I'm not.
I love my new tan self this week.
You got a good tan. You got the good kind.
You know, I had a good weekend.
I got the bad kind.
Oh, you look cute though. Nice little bronze for this.
This is not bronze. This is red. This is red. It will bronze out in a couple days.
Yeah, it'll transform.
How
are you?
Bronze. That's
Red.
This is shrimpy red.
it's lobster red almost.
It's lobster red. It's terrible.
It's like in between red and like a nice golden color.
It's not Natalie, it is not golden at all. You're trying to be
gold.
nice.
I see gold.
Okay, in the future.
It's cute. How have you been? I haven't seen you in a while.
And we haven't spoken in a while.
Yeah.
So this will be good to catch up in all things business. Yep.
What'd you do?
I worked the Hit the Switches festival this weekend for Hello Stranger.
How was that?
It was really cool. I haven't slept much. 4 days of like working 17-hour days. This is crazy, but a wonderful event. Like it was a highlight of my life. Faux show.
Well, good. I'm glad. And so, well, let's get started, right?
Yes.
I'm going to be introducing someone that I think is very amazing, very near and dear to our hearts, a relative of ours, and we'll get into that after our moments of love and rage. What do you think?
Moments of love and rage. Actually, we should probably introduce.
Oh yeah, we should introduce him now because this is relevant. So we're introducing my father-in-law, Rickie's father.
Yes.
Vicente Mota. Welcome to the show.
Yes.
Thank you for the invitation. Yes.
And for the record, Natalie and I have had like 2 shots going into this because we've had a stressful week. So, disclaimer, okay?
Eventful. We're a little tired, but we're good. We're good. So,
welcome, Dad.
Thank you.
How are you
Excited
feeling?
to be here.
No, and thank you for driving out all the way from Ensenada to hang out with us
That's
for a
right.
little bit.
That's right. Left
Your
this
2
morning.
favorite daughters. I just wanted to add that in there.
Wait, so if you're saying favorite daughters, Dad, now that you have 2 choices, who's the favorite?
I won't get offended, I swear.
Yeah, we'll get into that later. We'll get into that.
Good.
Yes.
Good answer.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Safe answer.
So, let's get into our moments of love.
So my moment of love was actually, okay, my moment of love. I had a lot of them this weekend. So doing the Hit the Switches show, I was in touch with a lot of celebrities, and I met one of my like favorite producers, rappers, and I was fangirling out, but I had to bite my tongue because I still had a job to do. Yeah, but I had the pleasure of meeting DJ Quick.
Okay.
Yes.
Nice.
And I had previously worked with his manager, who I'm hoping will join us on this podcast later on to share her stories about being a female manager in the entertainment industry.
Okay.
She has plenty of stories to tell and a wonderful insight. But meeting him, one of my favorite albums that he released was in 1999. I think it was Rhythmalism. Yeah. One of my favorite albums by far. And I was able to share a story with him about growing up and listening to music, and how my dad never hesitated playing rap music in the house, or music with explicit lyrics.
Okay.
And also how my dad has a tequila because he loves tequila. So,
Yes.
and I don't like taking pictures with celebrities, and Bartley can attest to this. Like, we've been in front of celebrities and I'm like, nope, I don't want to take a picture. I don't want to be that person. Like, oh,
Yeah.
But
I'll be that person, though.
I know.
You can see my walls. It's all over here.
But see, but I do want to do that too, right? So that my kids know, like, okay, well, you did something, you know. And so we had this wonderful moment, and so we were talking about, hey, like, and I didn't send my dad the picture because I was waiting for him to come down today,
Yeah.
to show him and to tell him that. But so in the midst of all of that celebrity love, in the middle of the festival, I get a text message from my youngest daughter, Mia, and she just randomly says, she goes, "I love you." And I said, "What the heck? What's going on?" Right?
That's sweet.
And she just says, "I just want you to know I'm really proud of you and thank you for being a vulnerable parent." She's like, "I know that you're not perfect and you definitely share that with us. And, you know, I just want you to have a good show." And I was in the middle of something and in full blown tears.
I would have cried. I think I'm holding back tears right now.
And that was Saturday. Sunday, I actually brought both of my daughters with me to join the festival and to help out.
Okay.
So they were volunteering, running around the festival, chucking ice, like reloading.
Good.
So we spent that quality time together. So by far, that was my moment of love, that amidst like all of this amazing work, it was just one little text message from my kid saying like, "Hey, you know what? You're a good mom. You're not bad.
I love that.
You're not bad."
I love my nieces. They're so cute.
She's cool.
Oh my gosh. So my moment of love, I actually got to get away for the weekend. My girlfriend Erica is getting married, and so we celebrated with a bachelorette weekend in the desert.
I saw the house and the pool.
Oh my god, it was amazing. Saltwater pool. I don't want to brag, but everyone needs to try it. And not just that experience, but also getting together with your girlfriends and doing nothing and having dialogue and conversation about the real shit that's going on.
I don't know how to
lives.
do that.
We need to do it.
I don't know how to do that.
Oh my god, girl, I'm gonna take you out there because just you don't realize how much you need to spend, how much time you need, and how much time you need with women,
right?
You know what I mean? And so not just the dialogue, but also one of our friends, we all woke up in the morning, right? And
I'm glad you guys all woke up in the morning.
We all woke up in the morning. Thank God. Thank goodness it was okay, right?
Oh, nobody died. Okay, awesome.
But I'm not gonna lie, we're not the best of cooks.
Okay.
So
that sucks.
when it came to breakfast, we kind of just like stared at each other.
None of you? How many women were there?
8.
Ooh.
And it's just very telling of the generation, right? We're not cooks. But one of them kind of is.
Okay.
She made chilaquiles for us.
Were they better than mine?
I'm going to just say this.
Oh, shit, they were.
She made the sauce from scratch.
Well, yeah, that's what you're supposed to do, girl.
Oh, my God.
That's a given. You're supposed to make it from scratch.
Listen.
Come on now.
You're easily impressed.
I use el pato, okay?
Wait, but so do I. El pato sauce is
That's
good.
great
El pato
stuff.
is amazing.
It is good.
It's amazing.
No, she fucking used the tomatoes and
Yeah,
the
that's what you do.
chiles and heated the pot and started the blender. She made the sauce from scratch, and then I was in love. I was like, this is it.
Time
this
out.
right here.
I just want to interrupt. Before, Dad, we ask your moment in love, I want to know what you think about how Natalie just expressed like the boiling of a tomato, because my dad all of a sudden is a chef and loves to cook and is like wonderful at it and loves to do it. So what do you think about this whole experience of like, she cooked a tomato?
yeah. It's the little
I mean,
things.
you could cook, roast, or use the pato, which is fine, you know. But I'm not chilaquiles guy.
Oh, I love
right?
chilaquiles.
But I had him this week at a getaway.
Yeah.
And I go, okay, they're good. They're good. Yeah.
Wait, but what was different about the chilaquiles that you had on this getaway versus all the other chilaquiles you had?
Maybe that I did not had them for a long time, but they're no. I don't want to talk about the
Chilaquiles.
the chilaquiles. No. Whether they're boiled or they're roasted first. But
the tomato.
yeah, there's some tricks to it. I would have roasted them first. I would. Yeah, I would.
Look, I'm not giving the whole. I'm clearly not explaining the whole story because I'm literally just like, okay, there's chilaquiles being made, great. So I didn't know the whole, but she made them from scratch, which is just incredible considering that I take them from a can and here are the chilaquiles. You know what I mean? So that was my moment of love, and to add to that, also being here with my in-laws, you know, my father-in-law, and having a conversation along with my sister-in-law. I think it's amazing, and I feel so happy. So
I will
those
say
are
for
my
the
moments.
record, I've never seen Natalie this excited before, and I'm terrified. So
I'm excited.
I'm terrified. But Dad, what was your moment of love?
Did you have one?
Did you have a moment of love?
No.
Okay.
I tried. After listening to the format, I listened to 3 podcasts. Your podcast.
Oh,
they're,
God.
they're wonderful.
Thank you for listening.
Well, I had to, because Rickie says, Dad, you don't listen to my podcast. You don't put anything like on my Instagram. You don't like anything. I go, oh, here we go again. Edison Elementary School. Dad, you don't go to my play. Dad, you don't go to my Girl Scout cookies. Dad, you don't go to my ballet lessons. You know.
Guilt trip.
For the record, the last podcast that we released, when he came back and he was like, I listened to it.
Yeah,
Low key,
the
and I
imposter
told
syndrome?
you, and I
Yeah.
was excited. I was like, "Yo, my dad listened to this podcast without me telling him to." I was like, "What's wrong with the universe?"
She did say
I
that.
was excited about
She
that.
did.
No, so the format, I get it. And you guys are so sincere with your rage, right?
Sincere.
Yeah, with the rage and the love. And I'm thinking, okay, if I were to go in there, what would I say? And I realized that I don't have the moment of rage or love. It's kind of mixed together. It's almost like a zen. So I tried. Come on, you have to come up with what's your rage? Okay, the imposter syndrome. The imposter syndrome. That's my. But then I realized, no, I was working from home like everybody else on their little computer, like, you know, sound effects on the computer.
Solid sound effects, by the way.
You know, and I'm listening to the podcast, right? And then I think it's Rickie that asked Natalie first, when did you first discover imposter syndrome?
Oh, yeah.
She was 2 years ago. Blah, blah, and she said, blah, blah, blah. And then Natalie, what about you, Rickie? Yeah, I have it 2 years ago. And and I go, you know how stupid I felt? I'm the only idiot who has not heard of imposter syndrome, right?
Don't feel bad, because I was in the same boat like three
That
weeks
moment.
leading up to that. I was like,
What is it?
They kind of brought it up as a topic, and I'm like,
Yeah.
let me go look this up real fast.
Right. I didn't do it at the moment, right? But I couldn't sleep. I couldn't sleep thinking about it, right? And now I look it up. I say, is that my moment of rage? No. So I'm looking it up. Really? And I found that article that I sent to you.
Yes,
right?
which was good
And
and comprehensive.
1, 2, a list of medical syndromes, and imposter syndrome wasn't there, right? I go,
Right.
So, but the article that I sent you, that author, she was great.
She was great.
She said, you know, if we believe this stuff, and I think she said, if we believe this shit, right, it's going to be like the hysteria, right? So I think, you know, that's what happens. People can just invent, all right? And so in preparation for your wonderful podcast, I said, you know what? I can even invent my own syndrome.
Correct.
Because if I don't fit in tonight, then I'm going to call it the bastard syndrome. Yeah.
Jesus
But what do you do before you bring it up? This is what you do. Bastard syndrome. There is one.
You're kidding me.
No, there's bastard syndrome. Affects women.
Everything
what the
affects
hell?
women. Okay. Well, let me just ask you this on a completely different level. Okay. My question to you is this: you're raising 3 young ladies.
Yep.
Right. So now you heard the stories from 2 older ladies. I'm gonna say older ladies, right?
Mm-hmm.
Did you think, okay, hey, I wonder if, you know, Regina, Valentina, and Denali, are they experiencing this? Have they experienced this? Should they be like? Did any of that cross your mind?
Experience what?
The imposter syndrome.
Oh.
Or them thinking that they're not good enough for something. And to explain, Regina, Valentina, and Denali are my dad's
Stepdaughters. Yeah.
daughters. Yes, with Raquel. And so I always think, and they're younger. What are their ages?
13, 15, and 24.
Right. So do you ever listen to what we're saying and think like, oh man, maybe I should have a conversation with them? What are they thinking about this? Have they experienced it? Will they experience it? And again, in your research, how can you, as that father figure, make sure that instead of them hearing about it when they're 38 years old, they're hearing about it now and they're aware of it now? Or do you think it'd be more of a problem to even expose them to that now? Maybe they don't even know.
No, not to, if you're referring to that they should know the concept of imposter syndrome. No, because
Right.
My research, I put, what about stupid syndrome? Right?
No.
Yes, and that led me to something that I believe is closer to what this person that invented imposter syndrome was. And that it's not called the stupid syndrome, it's called something else. But it talks about when people who do not have the know-how, or they're not competent people,
Okay.
right? But they think they do.
Okay. Oof.
Yeah.
That's a totally different thing.
Yeah.
But right.
Overly
they're
confident.
incompetent, but they don't know.
Yeah.
Right. And it's very long. I couldn't get into it, but as I was reading this, I go, yes, this is what it's all about. Because the article that I sent you about the imposter syndrome, it says, the imposter syndrome doesn't cover classism, racism, doesn't cover any of that.
Which fuels
that we all go through.
all of that.
Yeah.
Right.
It is literally the fuel to all of that.
Yeah.
Okay, so I would call that his moment of obsession, right? Because you become obsessed with a topic and you want to
Yeah.
research it to its fullest, and you're like, da, 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 da. I can't do the same keyboard sound effect, but it's the same. it's the same thing. So I totally get that. I like that.
Yeah.
So going into moments of rage.
Yes.
Did you
I
have-
had none.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I did have a moment of rage. I had multiple moments of rage this weekend, and it was a stupid moment of rage. But we had a show at a designated area that I'm not gonna specify, and we were trying to gain access to it, and it was myself and two other females in the car, and they would not let us in, and they were treating us like we were just other people trying to get into this said
Passerbyers.
location. Yeah, you guys are just trying to get in, and I'm like, sir, please, here are our credentials, here are our IDs. Wouldn't even look at our phone, sent us around.
Are you serious?
It was a terrible experience. I had to park on the side, jump in this lady's car, try to get back in it. It was just a whole disaster. My car ended up getting towed.
Oh my gosh.
We were just a few minutes off. We had to do a sound check. It was just the whole thing was terrible. I had to walk like 2 miles back in once the performance was done, and I ended up like crying in the parking structure with this beautiful lady who I said, if I try to go back in, I'm gonna lose my shit right now. So I just chopped it up with her for a little bit until I gained my like momentum back.
Yeah.
And it was only bad timing because I knew that I had to be for the festival 6 o'clock in the morning, and I'm thinking, fuck, how the hell am I gonna do all of this? Like,
Right.
it just
Now I gotta
man.
get my car back.
Ugh.
Shitty ass
Yeah,
day.
talk about moment of rage and emotions and all kinds of things. It was bad, but whatever.
I feel that for you. When it rains, it pours. But hey,
It sure
here you
did.
are, and we moved past it. So
Yeah, and
it's
it
all
was
good.
It was fine. I had a great conversation with this random stranger parking attendant. Thank you.
It's always a sign.
I love her
always
so
a sign
much.
of something.
It was. Well, here's what she told me. She's like, well, maybe you weren't supposed to be in the car tonight.
Yep.
Which I'm like, okay, but maybe I wasn't supposed to get this $380 tow charge either, which I could do without. So
Yeah. Exactly.
I think everybody can do without.
of
Yeah,
course,
for
But
sure.
so you didn't have a moment of rage, and Dad, you were kind of mentioning that every moments of rage and moments in love are a Zen effect.
I think so, because Saturday night we went to this bar called Ophelia there at Ensenada.
Oh, I love that place.
And it's a really cool place, right? You've been there.
Yep.
But not at the bar, because they just opened up the bar
Nice.
because of the pandemic. But at the end of the bar, there were three guys around my age, right?
Okay.
And they were so loud.
Ooh.
Okay, that's fine.
Ew.
You can be loud.
Right.
You can be loud.
Right.
But they were like high school kids. No, hombre, que le meto la verga. Oh, yeah.
So they were
Yeah,
incredibly
yeah, yeah,
vulgar.
Yeah. Yeah.
The level of
and
immaturity.
it's like, okay, I get up and tell them, hey, guys.
Wait, you went? You confronted them?
No, because, well, Ensenada, I'm going to lose my opportunity to be the ambassador of Ensenada if the mayor's going to listen to this. Although we're a small town, 400,000 people.
Okay.
Right? And yes, it's wine country, 165 wineries.
Are you plugging Ensenada right now?
90% of the wine comes out of there.
Yeah.
And the food, gastronomy, number one in
Oh, yeah.
Mexico with all the chefs.
good
And we're
stuff.
number
It's
6
amazing.
in violence in the world.
Wait, what?
Number 6.
Wow.
Yeah,
Really?
yeah, we're number 6.
Okay, that's shocking.
Yeah.
I'm shocked.
No,
too.
what's more shocking is that he said 400,000 was a small town.
Really?
Yeah.
That's not a small town. That's a huge city.
400,000?
400,000 is not. Do you know what the city of Ontario is?
Yeah, it's a quarter of that.
Yeah,
It's like
160,
170,000.
Shut
Yeah.
up. Oh my God. Okay.
Yeah,
I'm going to shut up now.
But it's the it's Ontario upland. I've never seen Ontario like, oh, we're Ontario.
No. We just have great
its own
trees.
flag and its own army. No.
Okay, so the reason you didn't approach these guys.
Right. What if those guys are those narcs that are killing 3-4 people a day, right?
Yeah. You're gonna
5
back.
days ago, on our neighborhood right next door, guy takes out his dog for a walk. Dog comes back with a human head.
Oh shit.
Okay, Dad.
Yeah.
In your neighborhood?
I'm telling you, I'm not going to be the ambassador of
my
Ensenada. No, I just lost that.
Oh God.
Hey, but you know what? We need facts sometimes, and that's just the reality. You know?
That's right.
Okay, but so-
You have to know.
Is that going to prevent you from going to Ensenada?
No, Mike and I actively talk about moving there, so be ready to be.
So-
we're gonna be your neighbors.
So even wait, hold on. So you actively talk about it. So you have no problem if suddenly Jorge gets out and comes back with a human head.
Yeah.
you know what? I would have a problem with
It
that.
ain't
but I'm
Victoria
still gonna
Gardens,
go.
homegirl. It ain't Victoria
Listen,
Gardens.
You go, Jorge, go find the body. Go find the body.
Oh my God, no. Oh my God, no.
I would still go.
Okay, so you don't
It's fine.
confront these people, basically. You take the vulgarity.
Yeah. I mean, I like it. Here's what balances everything out: the weather. Mm-hmm. The weather is incredible, and that's why it's wine country, right? Yeah. So, and we're not too far away from here. It's a 2 hours and a half drive, right?
Yeah.
But it's
Hip-scop
big difference. We have the worst streets. I think
Potholes
I
galore.
think Syria, right, that was been bombed for the last 20 years. They have better roads than we do in Ensenada. I kid you not. I kid you not. Seriously, right? It's just bad. It's just
You
bad.
know what it is,
Yeah,
but it's
right.
it's also funny that when we go visit, like they could
Yeah.
probably drive with their eyes closed and pot,
Right.
take a quick left, and I'm like, where?
Right.
And they see it. They already have the roads memorized.
Yeah.
So
That drives me crazy.
yeah.
I can
potholes.
imagine you and Mike driving up there. It's like Mario. They're
Yeah.
missing the. Yeah, I do that. Oh, yeah, I do that, and I was good at first, but now you can't avoid them.
Right.
But here's the thing. He's like, gets next to it, and she goes, "You had to fall in that thing." It's like, really?
You didn't know better.
Yeah, right.
How could you not tell?
You drive, right?
Is she better at it then? Does she miss the potholes?
No.
Or she just goes through them.
No. Yeah.
So
Hey, on a side note, I think we found our new sound effects guy.
Facts. Okay, so let me just get this straight. So to close out moments of rage and moments in love, what you're basically saying is that you could find yourself in a moment of rage, like you did in Ensenada at this beautiful restaurant, eating beautiful food with vulgar people, but take a little walk outside and be engulfed by Ensenada's atmosphere, breeze, and then it balances out that moment of rage.
Yeah, you know how I let it go, the rage, is I just sit there and put John Wick. That's it. It's my it goes out. And I see John Wick's my face right there. You know? He did it with a pencil. Yep.
Wait, Dad, hold on. On a real note, you literally imagined all that in your
Yes,
head?
yes.
Okay,
I
hold
am
on.
John Wick.
Yes.
I had no idea because I do the same thing. I didn't
See?
know that you did that too. I am violent in my head, but I take like just heavy things and just bash it into people's heads as I'm talking to them, like trying
Oh,
to filter
thanks
them.
as you point at me. As you point your hands at me, like,
Listen, Bartley,
that's my cue to leave.
I'm not gonna lie, Bartley. I've very much had moments of rage with you where I'm like, I'm gonna sit here quietly, but in my head, I'm bashing your head with a rotor or some kind of sharp object.
All love. All love.
All
I
up.
hope so.
All love, no rage
Hey,
here.
if I ever get murdered, Rickie's the first person you should look at.
Yeah, if there's a bearing or some kind of capacitor in his eye, that was
This
me.
has become an intervention all of a sudden. Kind of crazy.
Oh my God, this is great.
Yeah, and there's another reason why John Wick is a reference, because I'm a clean freak. I'm cooking the largest meal. Oh, and this is the way I cook. My brother Oscar sent me an article. He says, "You got to read this." This chef in New York, New Jersey, I believe, one of the famous magazines, the top restaurant of the world. So this journalist wanted to get in there, interview the guy, right? No interview. All right, I'll book a table. 5 years waiting list, because there's only
5 years?
10, 12 tables, right?
Jesus.
So he finally goes there. the girl that does the reception, hey, here's a cancellation, come on in.
Oh, well.
12, 14 course dinner, right?
Jesus
and he says,
Christ.
could you tell him if I can go back in the kitchen and watch the whole thing? No, he doesn't like it. Please, this is for the New Yorker, blah, 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 blah. Finally says, yes. Goes back there. Just him.
Nobody else.
Nobody else.
Wow.
Nobody else. He cooks the first dish, cleans everything, delivers the food outside himself, goes back, and starts with the second. That's me. I'm going to cook, and before I sit down with everybody, everything is washed in the kitchen. So I have other people at the house, and it's like just to prove to you that I don't have that rage, because I'll go to house is clean, but who left the gansito package here?
Oh, I love
right?
gancitos.
Who left the pinguinos package?
right.
Who left the Doritos package here, right? But if you look at John Wick and he goes into the kitchen, clean.
Yeah.
Wait.
Man,
So are
that's
you
why I love John Wick.
are you saying that chef in New York, that's rage?
No. Where I was getting to you is that's where I got maybe. That's I'm not the only anal guy here. I like cleanliness, right?
I'm with you on that. I can't stand dirt.
There you go.
I am a super clean
Yeah.
freak. I'm telling you.
Yeah, yeah, that's me. And so it's not just the way John Wick kills people; it's the way his kitchen is clean.
It's the way he cleans up after.
Yes, the whole house is clean. It's white, I believe.
It's
Yeah.
white. It was very
Yeah.
clean,
Yeah.
crisp cut.
It's like Dexter.
Yeah.
It's not how he kills. It's also how he cleans
That's
up.
right. It's how he cleans up.
You guys are all sick. You're all sick. All of you.
No.
Okay, all right. So let's transition into this main segment that Natalie is so excited about, that I am excited about too.
We're excited. So I believe Vicente to be one of the most charismatic, animated,
Anal.
knowledgeable, just an easygoing, just to add to your zenfulness, right? Easygoing human being of your generation that I've ever met. I don't think I've ever met someone with your grace.
Wow.
Whoa.
And I mean that in the sense that, like, there's people that are very close-minded and stubborn, and maybe
true.
you have a stubbornness about you, and I don't know that, but I think that the way that you carry yourself, you present yourself with just open-minded, easygoing, open to hear other people's conversations, and you don't judge. Is that fair? Is that a fair statement?
No, I do. He's
a Virgo.
I was accused.
But maybe you judge in an animated way, and it makes
He's
it
a
like,
Virgo.
oh,
My
look at
my
you.
brother Oscar's always accused me that you judge people. I said,
He
no, it's a
100%
heavy
does.
opinion. That's it. It's an opinion.
Oh, I like that.
And maybe that's what
I like
that's
that.
what I meant. You're heavily opinionated, not judgmental. There's a difference. Opinion, judgment is different.
Yeah.
It's different. So you know what? I'm on your side. Okay, you're not judgy.
A
You just
heavy opinion.
You just have a heavy opinion.
Well-
I'm opinionated. See, maybe that's why we get
I
along.
like that. Scorpio to Virgo.
There's
Friends.
the saying, people never change, right?
Okay.
And it's true to a certain extent and to a certain percentage of the population out of the part of the world.
Okay.
But I know I'm conscious that I did. I did. And all family members will tell you he was an asshole. Yeah,
Are
he was an
you
asshole.
the
Wait, wait.
oldest in?
Yeah,
are you
I'm
the oldest of your
yes.
siblings?
Yes.
I agree. I'm the
the
oldest of my sisters, and I'm the asshole. I'm
Yeah.
like a jerk.
Yeah.
I'm the oldest, and I'm definitely not the asshole.
You're definitely
What?
the
You're the oldest?
Oh my God.
Wait, when? I don't know.
Oh, I heard you have a brother, right? And a husband.
Yeah, I'm definitely not the
Yeah.
asshole, and I'm the oldest. Okay, and
I'm
for
the
the record,
youngest, and I'm definitely the asshole.
I
of my
could.
family.
Okay, yeah, I agree. Meaning like
thanks.
no.
First, she
Meaning
wants
I'm
to
like
bash
saying,
my head in, and then.
but I
Like,
agree
we
with
don't
you.
want your siblings.
But I do think that that's just based on our experience, right? Like,
Yeah.
what was our role as the oldest
Yeah.
sibling? You know, that goes.
We're the asshole. Sorry, you're the asshole. Rickie, I'm just gonna tie you in with us. Be a part of this, okay? Be the jerk.
Arrogant. That was another thing that they would say. And yeah, I agree. I agree. What changed me, and that's the important piece. Was it willful change to begin with? I believe that the constant search for knowledge to improve yourself, to deal with the world, to deal with the world. I'll give you an example. Having born and raised here in the U.S., and I was working at Auto Instrument.
Hey.
Rickie worked. Or works, I don't know.
Yeah, Dad, I have not been there for the last 3 months, but Bartley still works there.
Oh, you work there? Okay, yeah. Well, yeah. When I worked there, payroll was done with the pencil. I cut the checks. Yeah, seriously. Yeah.
You might find an old record, Vicente Mota on there somewhere.
I actually did the first flyer of that company.
I have it.
Anyway, I got bored. I was the operations guy. I was the accountant. I said, hey, we don't have any accounts in Mexico. Come on, let's open up the market in Latin America. So I took our salesman, John Bondas.
John, rest in peace.
John, rest in peace. And we go to Mexico too. Let's go top line, Aeromexico. Let's go, right? We got a meeting with one of the senior vice presidents. And we started talking, and I was not a sales guy.
I'm sorry, can I ask, how old were you at this time?
I don't know, 30, something like that.
Okay.
Oh, shit. Okay.
So I'm there, and we start talking. John's doing most of the talking because he's a sales guy. He knows price and stuff like that. And I want to participate, but I'm not a technician, right? And I'm not a pilot.
You're not a technical guy.
Right. But that wasn't the point. When I started, I said, but I speak Spanish, so whenever this guy needs some assistance my Spanish was bad. So what did he say? This VP from Aeromexico says, you know what? You should know how to speak Spanish. So I'd rather deal with this guy, the white guy, than you. Wow. Because you should know. I go, and I agree. My Spanish was really bad. It was really, really bad. From that point on, I switched all my guitar playing and songs from English to Spanish.
Hold on. Back it up. Pause 1 second. That's why you changed?
Yeah.
The music part?
And the books and the literature. I started reading in Spanish. All the Garcia Marquez, all the Octavio Paz, let's go straight to Spanish. And here's the most important piece. I lived in Texas too. And that was in my high school years. And that's a different Spanish. Tex-Mex.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. And so, well, let's go back. From LA, I go to Torreon, Mexico, first time, go in 6th grade.
And I'm sorry, where were you born exactly?
54th Street, Denker.
In the U.S.?
In the U.S.,
okay.
LA, Los Angeles.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
54th.
Okay, go on.
We went to Mexico when I went into 6th grade. I didn't know Spanish. Right.
Okay.
And but mom and dad didn't tell anything to the teachers, and so I was failing everything.
Jesus Christ.
I was failing everything, right? So finally, they called the parents, and the parents. I said, well, we came from Los Angeles, right? Oh, we're gonna help you, little boy. Blah, 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 blah. And I'm big tears coming out, right? You know what my nickname was? El Americano. El Americano, because I spoke English. 3 years. I mastered Spanish. We moved to Texas.
Oh, fuck.
Right. So I go to Texas and I'm going, wait a minute. These guys speak Spanish too. So I'm going to speak my Spanish.
But it's a different Spanish.
It's a different Spanish.
Yep.
And you know what they called me there? El Mexicano.
Oh my God.
Because of my Spanish. So I tell I'm a freshman in high school. I go, Mom, I'm confused. I'm confused. What did I do? I learned Tex-Mex. Use their words. So you're
have
freshman.
to adapt.
You have to adapt.
You have to adapt.
Accept it, right? Yeah, that's key right there. So I always said never mix the two languages. Keep them separated.
I always heard that growing up.
Keep them separated.
I always heard that growing up.
And that has helped me as a person.
Keeping them separate learning how to adapt?
Keeping both cultures separate. Keeping both cultures separate.
So did that experience trigger you to the need to improve? Because we're talking about how you were saying, like, you want to educate yourself and evolve and change and be better. So did that experience of going from the U.S. to Mexico and back to the U.S., did that trigger you?
Well, I think it goes back to acceptance. He wanted to be accepted.
Yes, but you're right. 100%. To me, it was the best thing that my parents could have done. It wasn't planned. It just happened, right? So now I do 3 years in Texas. Now, Bartley, you're right. Ensenada, 400,000. But what school did I go to? Fort Hancock, Texas. Right?
Is
That's
that
right on the
where
border.
Shawshank Redemption.
It's right on the border.
Shawshank
And I know
Redemption.
that's at because of that movie.
Because of that movie. That's where I went to high school. I played football.
Is that where Laddie's at?
Yeah, well, he's dead already.
That's my favorite
Where
movie
Laddie
of all
was at?
time,
Yeah.
so I know exactly where we're
Yeah,
at.
Fort
Who's
Hancock.
Laddie?
Fort Hancock.
Laddie was who was Laddie? I just remember meeting him.
Schoolmate.
Okay.
Yeah.
My dad
Yeah.
drove us through there to go see where he went to high school and all that. That shit was scary.
Yeah,
No lie.
yeah. So it's a farm town. So I was a feature Farmers of America. Had my had my sheep, had my pig. Played football like all the schools. And 3 years of that, we go back to L.A. Right.
Damn.
Now, when we left L.A., our cousins from Mexico came from Mexico to L.A.
Okay.
So
Okay.
now it's my last year in high school, and I'm here, right? And then I'm listening to these girls because you're a senior high school now. You're checking out the girls, and then I picked up the phone where my cousins live, right? And who are you? I'm Chente. Yeah. Blah, blah. Are you a cholo? I go. What's a cholo?
Oh wow.
What do you eat that with?
Yeah, and then my cousins
She
go,
said,
yes.
"What do you eat that with?"
So I go, yeah, I'm cholo.
No.
Well, I wanted to score, right? So,
Right.
Yeah, you wanted to be in.
Yeah,
I know what I'm talking
so,
about.
So we missed that whole period. Had we stayed here, maybe, yeah,
Wow.
So
Fuck.
okay, so now they ask you, "Are you a cholo?" You say yes. So did you ever feel now that you're back there, like again, now you go through this whole process of not feeling accepted? Did you feel you had to adapt to what was going on at that time? What were the choices that you made to say, "I'm going to become a cholo" or not become a cholo?
El Americano when I moved to Mexico, El Mexicano when I was in Texas, and guess what I was called? What?
El cholo.
Coconut.
Oh.
Oh,
sorry.
amen. And you know what? I didn't know that you were gonna say that, but it makes sense that you said that.
Yeah,
You were a coconut.
I was a coconut. Yeah.
You're damned if you do and damned if you don't.
Yeah.
I like coconuts though.
Okay. I like coconut now. I do like coconut. But okay, and so but at the time did you know what that meant or the significance behind that?
Yes, because I believe that culture always, when I say the cholos pachucos, which is the root, they felt that they owned the Mexican culture, right? And remember,
That's what you felt. That's what you felt at that time.
I still feel that that's how they live, that's how they think. And to me, it's separated. I always said, you want to call me a coconut? Fine, but I'm a Mexican, and I'm a American. I was born in the U.S.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it kept going, the comparisons, because now I'm married, working, living in Mexico City now, right? My coworkers there, they're all from Mexico City. They were in a meeting, and you are so and so. Yeah, I'm Mexican. And I said, yeah, Vicente Mota, I'm Mexican. And all my coworkers, no, you're not. He's a gringo. He was born in Los Angeles, but I'm Mexican,
gosh.
right? So
Yeah.
I didn't say anything. The meeting was over. Then we go have some beers at friend's house, co-worker's house, and I'm still thinking about it.
Yeah.
I'm still thinking about it. They call me a gringo,
Yeah.
right? Just because I was born
Here.
in L.A. Although my parents are from Mexico and they migrated to L.A. And so I'm looking down, at his dog, and they said, "Paco, is that your dog?"
Hey Paco.
Hey, Paco. He goes, "Yeah,
God.
es mi perro." Yeah, and where was he born? Well, he was born here. It's my neighbor's puppy. And what is he? He's a German Shepherd. No, he's not. He's a Mexican Shepherd. How in the fuck? A dog you can respect, and me, a Mexican, just because I'm born in L.A., I'm a gringo. Shut the fuck up.
Imposter syndrome at its
imposter.
finest.
Okay, wait. So let me.
Oh my god.
Let me just time out here. Time out here. So how would you identify yourself?
Well, like what? I don't want to be. I don't have a label. Why do I need a label?
Right. Why do I need a label?
Yeah.
So we just recently did an event for, what was that guy? Ron Perlman. Ron Perlman. I sent you a picture. I got to meet Edward James Olmos.
Oh, yeah.
And my conversation with him was to thank him for the Latino Book Festival
Oh, yeah.
that he brought. because you took us to his, festival, and it was a festival of books, the arts, everything, and it was incredible, and I had never been exposed to anything like that.
That conversation almost never happened, by the way.
It did.
What?
Right.
The conversation with her and Edward James almost. Mm-hmm. I had to push her over there. Like, go.
Yeah, because I didn't want to be that person. I was like, yeah.
But did you tell her you're not going to take a picture? Come on, go.
I took the picture.
He took a picture. That's the picture that I ended up sending to you, was that he took. But it's
low key picture, just like.
Yeah, I know. It
it
was very low key.
Creeping on the side. I don't want to get caught. Yeah, that was me. I was the paparazzi.
But it's interesting that you mentioned everything that you just said, because it was at that book festival that I purchased a shirt that said, and it was a silhouette of a woman, of a Latina woman, and it said Chicana. And I remember my dad saying, "You're not a Chicana. Why are you wearing that? Do you even know what that means?" And I was so confused. I'm like, what do you mean? Like,
Yeah.
I'm just looking at this shirt, and I was like 15, 16 years old, and I'm just looking at it as, this is, brown pride. I can relate to this. This is, these people are who I am, and this is what it is. Yes, right. And I didn't know what that term meant to my dad, so to speak, right? So what did you mean by you are not that?
Well, because I wasn't that. I mean, did I instill the Chicano culture on you? I didn't. Maybe at that time you were trying to participate and feel being part of a group, which I don't blame. That's where you lived at that time. Right. And it's very hard to pick sides, maybe. It's very hard to say, what if I please them by dressing like them? Right. I want to please these. It's
I think, I don't know how old you are, but I think that you want to belong.
Yes, so that's it.
So you want to belong.
I was like 15, 16 years old, but I never knew that my dad was called a coconut before. I didn't know that you were ever
how's
called
that going to change things now?
Well, it does, because I was off more times that, no, not that it changes anything, but I was raised oftentimes being called that. Oh, you're a coconut. They would tell me that, right? Just because I listen to a different type of music, right? So, for instance, if I were to play like Jorge Drexler, that's white music. And I'm like, how the fuck is that white music?
Can we pause? Can I get a definition in your guys' eyes what a coconut is, please?
You're brown on the outside, white on the inside. So if you speak really good English and you know how to enunciate,
you're white.
You're white on the inside.
Yeah, I was called an Oreo growing up. Being
Same
black
thing.
with white. Yeah.
Same thing.
Same thing.
Same thing. 100%.
I was trying to get it.
If you know how to write a complete sentence,
you're a coconut.
Or an essay, you're a coconut. If you happen to like music that is not banda or any kind of,
if you just have any kind of knowledge,
you're a fucking coconut.
Yeah.
So
that's some bullshit.
But I believe the coconut started from the Oreo, right? So
he's right. He's right.
Yes,
absolutely. Yeah.
I'm wondering whether the Chinese go through the vanilla Oreo. Like,
that's a good question,
right?
That's a good question. Let's find that out.
Actually, no, that really is a good question, because the stereotypes associated with that community, they're already there, and they're kind of synonymous to the white community. That's a really good question.
Yep. But they're making good movies. Chinese, Korean.
Parasite?
No, that was Korean.
And for the record, I almost watched Parasite, but I stopped because I was like, this might be a little bit too heavy for me.
We showed it to your son.
Really good.
He really enjoyed it.
Oh, God.
Really good.
Okay, you're right.
Amazing.
They call them bananas.
That makes sense. Okay. Bananas.
Yep.
Yeah.
Bananas.
Mind blown.
Well, is that because of the penis envy or?
Fire.
Oh, Dad, Jesus Christ. That's it. Who needs another shot? Here, give it to
Ricky
me.
and Natalie need another shot.
Pass it
ASAP.
down. Pass
I'm
me his.
sweating.
You just listened to the last episode of
Oh my gosh. We're literally pouring shots as we speak.
Jake can't get over it right now.
Oh my God.
I'm dying over here, man.
But I do kind of want to fast forward to something, because you mentioned being out in Mexico City, and you're 30 years old and you're doing this sales experience, and you've never done sales before. Prior to being in aviation, which you had never done before, right? And prior to any, what is it that you did before that led you to that moment and led you to this, I'm going to contact this airline and talk to their VPs. Like, that's a lot of what happened in between all of that?
What?
Tell us that whole story.
Yeah.
Before doing the autos thing?
Yeah.
Okay. Work. My first job, 5th grade.
He said 5th grade.
5th grade.
Oh, geez.
The local liquor store, which was bombed during the riots, right?
The Watts riots.
There goes my job, right? What did I get paid? 30 cents. The Hostess cupcakes and the soda pop. That was my my pay.
Oh wow.
Then we go to Torreon, and there I worked at the print shop, my parents' print shop. And go to Texas. There I worked at the farm fields, in the picking onions, picking up hay, and then coming back to that's junior high, I believe, or high school, right? Then coming back to California, I worked at Golden State Foods, where they make all
GSF,
the burgers,
yes.
blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I worked there.
You needed a job.
But I realized, you know what? You got to go back to school. So, yeah, I went back to school with 2 little ones. And
I was one of 2.
Yeah, and it was getting kind of hard. It was getting kind of hard. 3 jobs.
Wow.
I was already working at a bank because I know, you got if you get a finance degree, bachelor's of finance and law at Cal Poly, we'll start working in that, right?
Yeah.
But you're working at a bank, and I'm throwing the paper, the Tribune, at 4:00 in the morning, and then you're going to work at the bank and then going to school at night to finish that up. All because. I believe it was 87. I was working at a bank, and I didn't get the job because, first of all, I didn't apply. Vice president of loans, and everybody said you should apply.
Right.
I go, I don't know anything about loans. You should apply. You should apply. You should apply. So what did the president of the bank do? He reached out to each of his directors and say recommend someone, and I was recommended for the position.
Wow.
Right? So I go in there, and I go, president says, you know why you're here? Says, no. Well, you were recommended for the VP of loans. Oh, okay. Do you want it? Go, yeah. Well, you're not going to get it.
What?
Well, why not? Says, well, we're going to give it to
So-and-so.
So-and-so, yeah. I go, why her? Yeah, I know.
Oh, it was a
good
her,
friend of-
too.
It was
Hey.
It's not. I'm not because of that, right? But I'm going there. He goes, it's because she has a bachelor's degree and you right now have an associate degree. Yeah, but I'm close to finishing my bachelor's, right, in finance. Yes, but she has a bachelor's. I go, in sociology. What does that have to do with banking?
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
All these people wanted was a bachelor's degree. So I said, all right, I'll get the goddamn bachelor's degree. You know, if that's what you want, just to go up there. But then I realized, and I'll say it today, when we see what happened to our country and still happening, with all these people, our politicians with good degrees, and no common sense. So I've always said a doctor's degree is not going to make you a good human being. So I made it a point that after I finished school, that I continued educating myself. My education is ongoing.
It's constant.
It's ongoing.
It's constant.
And I don't like the digital books. I like to buy
handheld, the hardcover.
So for the record, I do both. I do the audio books and then I purchase the actual book itself. So I'll take my walk in the mornings or whenever I decide to walk, and I'm listening to the audio books, and then I'll bookmark certain spots that I like, go back to the hardcover book, and then highlight and make my notes. I do double.
I like that.
I do double. I have to do both. But so let me ask you a question. So you went to college, you raised a family, you went to college, and I do remember actually as a kid going to a library. Like I don't remember how it was exactly. You would go to class, take me to Taco Bell. I would have a taco and be writing something while my dad was doing homework in the library, the school library. So I very much remember being an active participant in my dad's professional and personal growth, right?
Yeah.
So how do you feel? So I'm your oldest. I didn't go to school and I didn't go to college, and I handpicked the classes that I wanted to take growing up. And my brother started, he went to Fullerton and then he boned out of that. How do you feel that that your efforts and your push to be raising a family and educating yourself and working and doing all of this stuff, and then Mike and I to a degree kind of came up short with your work ethic and everything that you desired to do.
No, I don't know. Did you?
Did I what?
Did you come up short?
Yeah, did you come up short?
Do you think I did?
No, I'm asking you. Rickie, I don't live with you. So how can I measure that?
But he just said that his degree or a degree is just a piece of paper. Like he's still continuing his education. So
absolutely,
technically, what you're doing now, Rickie, is exactly what he was doing. Like you have that work ethic. You don't have the piece of paper to go with it. You are one of the hardest working people I've ever met in my life.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
So because you don't have the piece of paper to back you on that doesn't mean that you fell short.
Right, and I think that I did learn, like, you navigated through different areas and you're a constant educator. You always want to learn and you do.
And guess what? So are you.
Yeah, and I'll speak for Mike in saying that. So is he. He's always learning.
We're so
something.
obsessive.
Yes,
we do share that.
Just like how the story earlier about, okay, well, let me look at this, and why is it this, and then then it's this, and did you find out this? And Mike and I will have deep conversations about, it's not only the star, it's the moon, it's the universe, it's the aliens, and how our parents came about. It's this whole blah, blah, blah. And so there's a constant desire to learn and improve, and I see that in Mike, and I see it in you.
And you don't need a piece of paper.
You're right about that. You're right about that.
Especially nowadays.
So Bart, I agree with that. Unfortunately, those mediocre managers.
Agreed.
Right.
Agreed.
When they write up their requirements for a job.
Bachelor degree with 20 years of experience.
Yes, right. No, yes.
But see, it's not anymore because I don't have a bachelor's degree in what I do professionally.
Correct.
It's bachelor's degree or relevant work experience.
Yeah. But I'll add into this conversation. I got my bachelor's at 38 years old.
Yeah.
And even though this certificate from radio school has got me more than that damn piece of paper out there.
Yeah.
You have a seat at the table. And coming from a person of color, all right, a seat at the table is important.
It is. So
I've never used that motherfucking degree that's sitting in my living room, and I've used every ounce of that trade school certificate.
Okay, listen.
Yeah.
But to me, it doesn't matter which one you have. It's the experience.
It's the experience, and you know, the experience is what talks. Because people...
Yes.
Oh, I thought it was up there. You don't have it up there.
No, it's on the other side.
It's on the other side.
But look, they look at it, a degree, a piece of paper.
Yes.
Someone looks at it and go, oh my God, he's done all that, blah, blah, blah. No, it takes time knowing you, talking to you. Right. You go out and have a dinner. It's a job interview, right? And you have a dinner for 2 hours. You know that person.
Yes.
You
Absolutely.
know that person.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But wait a minute, can't we thank Laverne for the mechanical sex conversation that we had?
Yes,
so
that helped me.
It does have a lot of benefits. I chose to pick and choose. I didn't go to school till later on in my life, right? And I said, I want to study these particular subjects. Like, I hand selected what I wanted to do. I hate math, and I'm like, screw you, math. I'm learn. Yes, and that's very important. So all of it, knowing how to tie in what you got from Laverne, your trade, all of that, and exercising all of that is relevant.
Yeah,
and your experience.
But now it's just a $42,000 piece of artwork.
So that all right. So we are talking about degrees and so on and so on. But now let's tie it into the imposter syndrome, right? So Natalie, your education, your interviews, the jobs that you have, because I did listen to the imposter, but I don't. My Alzheimer's, right?
Stop.
Have you encountered the imposter syndrome in the jobs? And don't confuse it with racism or
No. I don't think. You know what? Honestly, in my quote unquote professional role, I think I've always been very blessed and always thinking that I already have this job, and I've been able to have people around me to and I think I'll say this, who you know is very important as well, because it does matter, the network of people who you surround yourself with, because they can get you into places, right? So that's one part. And I think in banking, because it's such a quote unquote small world, it's easy to get into roles and positions. So I don't think I've ever had the imposter syndrome in those roles, but having this podcast, major imposter syndrome, because I feel like, am I good enough? I don't even know how to conversate with people. I'm such an introvert. I don't even know how to hold conversations for more than 10 minutes. And so that's where the imposter system and the imposter syndrome kicks in for me, of not feeling good enough, experienced enough, knowledgeable enough to do this.
So you are an imposter then. Because instead of doing the podcast for fun, this is therapy for you.
Oh, and,
Wait a minute.
and I've
My
said that.
sister tells me that about my podcast
Yes, it
all the time.
Yes, it is.
It's
I say
an
that
audio diary.
Yeah.
Yes,
Because
it is.
I'm too cheap to go to therapy.
Yes. Yes. And I've said that before. This is for me, and I've said it to Jake many of times. This podcast for me is therapy.
Well, we
Yeah.
always
That's
joke
good.
with Rickie that it's Rickie's therapy
Yeah.
session.
It is, because I literally drive home after every podcast and I'm in tears and I'm
Yeah.
telling Big
Yeah,
Brother Jake,
it's true.
I'm crying.
And listening to the 3 shows, yes, I get that. You guys just everything comes out.
You just
Everything
unload.
comes out. Yeah.
Yeah. Welcome everyone to our therapy session.
Welcome to our therapy session where we are all imposters. And we're going to lay it all out for you.
We don't know what the fuck we're doing here.
That's exactly it.
But it's also really important because I think about, and I don't even know the age demographic of who listens to us, other than there's people all over the world listening to us. And all it takes is just one person who really needed to hear a message, and you don't know if it's from you, or it doesn't even matter. Just as long as that story relates to somebody else.
Yeah.
I really do think that's how you change the world. You
Yeah.
know, one little story at a time with your network and within that.
So this is not rage. This is what story what I'm going to tell you. It's not rage, but racism, yes. And there's always this element of this kid, having been born in Los Angeles in American culture. To me, the opening the gifts on Christmas, it was like, oh my God, Santa Claus, he's so real, right? And my dad, my parents did a good job of making sure that I believed in Santa Claus, right? So it was so magical, right? So magical. And then you start growing up, right? I'm 23, and they tell me, son, there is no Santa
They
Claus.
told you at 23?
No, I'm kidding. So you're growing up, and still you're going to the movies. And I have my beef with Disney, right? Pixar and all these things. I think that's where we went wrong. So yeah, and Meg Ryan and all these guys, because
He said Meg Ryan and all these guys. Okay.
yeah, Tom
Sorry.
Hanks and blah blah blah. This
Okay.
is how beautiful America is. Blah 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 blah. blah
Marvel.
right? Yeah, Marvel. So how great America is. Yes, the racism was a long time ago, because I remember the Life magazine of the Watts riots, which was impactful for me because I'm in 5th grade, and the National Guard saying, under your beds, stay there all night under your beds, because your Molotov bombs are going all over the place. But then a couple of weeks later, I'm looking at Life magazine of how the whole neighborhood was left, and I'm thinking, Mom, what's going on? It was a riot because the African Americans, I guess. And I'm looking at the picture, but this is a Mexican, and he's all beat up and bloody. What did he do, right? So I'm trying to simulate, right? Well, yeah, they got into it too, right? And so I said, all right, that's racism. All right, so if you're not white, so you're assimilating that. As you're growing,
Right.
you're growing, and your community and where you live, we always hid it. We were always hiding it.
Hiding what?
Racism. It was always sugar-coated by all these Hollywood movies that we all shot. We're all the world. It was never there. And
Dad, that was
that's
Quincy
why-
Jones,
that's
Dad.
why
You're knocking
I
Quincy Jones right now?
That's why I said I really thank Trump for what he did.
I agree with
He
that.
took him out of the closet.
I agree with that.
So, okay, they're out of the closet. Now we're like bobbing and weaving with all this racism that's going on.
Yeah.
But when you feel it firsthand, All right. So I know I work in the fintech business, the banking business, digital.
Fintech,
financial technology.
Can you give me a job?
And
See how this works?
And my brother Oscar and I were all working together. So we go out there with investors raising money. But I was the one with the plan. I was the operating guy. I knew how to get the money. Mm-hmm. But I was the brown one. Mm-hmm. And they took Oscar. And Oscar go, I don't know what to say. Yeah, but Oscar, just go ahead and say this. I was always left behind. But I was the guy with the plan. That was 2005, 2006, 2000. Everything was good. I got
hold on, back up. You're saying that you were always the one with the plan. Okay, so Oscar is let's just,
I was
hold on. So the siblings go like this. My dad was born first. Yeah. Then they were twins, my uncle Oscar and my uncle Chuy. Yeah. Then it was my uncle Sergio, the baby boy, and then it was my aunt Rosie, and then my aunt Martha. So you and my uncle Oscar, one of the twins, you guys are actually really close.
Yeah.
And you guys work together.
Yeah.
Okay, so in this venture, the two of you work together. You have the plan, but they send Uncle Oscar.
Yeah.
Why didn't they send you?
Because I'm too brown. I'm too brown. That was it. But I dealt with it. All right. That was 2005 to 2007. This year. It was this year now. We're going to buy a bank, a small bank, so that we can create a Zelle type of money movement, but to Mexico.
Right.
Which
would be a big thing.
Yeah, because you got to go to Western Union to send money. It's going to charge you $10. But if you open up one of our applications, we're going to connect all those bank accounts, mobile bank accounts, and we're going to connect into Mexico's
international
HCA system. It's going to go real time, no fee.
Damn.
So I told my boss, all we got to do is buy a bank. That's it. Because if we go out to every single state and get a money transmitter license, that's $2 million per state. But if we buy a bank for $4 million, that's it. We put the technology on top of the bank. Good, let's do it. All right. So we put the offer for the bank. Iowa. Okay. See, you guys knew. I didn't know. That's how innocent I am. I didn't know.
Oh my God.
How racist that. Okay.
Oh my God.
So CEO says, "Hey, you guys get your ticket. We're going to sign to buy the bank
in Iowa."
Good. Sunday night, we fly out Monday morning. My brother Oscar gives me a call. You're not going. This was 4 or 5 months ago. What? See, they said you would understand. I would understand. I laid in bed and cried till the next morning.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's some bullshit, man.
Yeah.
I cried till the next morning. I said, really? Really? Yeah.
Damn it.
Yeah.
I personally think if you would have told them you were Martin Sheen, they would have totally been fair. I'm just saying, man.
Now, see, what was my therapy to get over that the next day? I didn't go to work, so I just sat down, watched all 3 Godfather. Godfather, boom, watch it.
That's the way to go, right
there.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is going to be a very strange transition, okay? A very strange transition, but Natalie and I had talked earlier about your journey with the tequila, okay? And I want to say that because you did start your own tequila, Don Juan Tequila, but the company that premiered it was, what was the name of the company? Marqués de la Mota.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Marqués de la Mota. So I was not aware, and I only became aware when we produced the video about the tequila and explaining the process, all of that stuff. There's a segment in the video where my brother talks about how it was Marqués de la Mota, right? Who is the original person who's really kind of Don Juan's muse.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And Don Juan is known as this romantic womanizer. He's just a romantic, all this, right? But it's Marqués de la Mota who's in his ear.
Yep.
Do this, say this, eat this, sing this. This is how you operate, right? I didn't know that, right? So that's when I first learned that. You and I have had a conversation, And I said, when are we going to stop being the Mota for everybody? When are we going to stop being the Marqués de la Motas for everybody? Right? We're always the people whispering into other people's ears how to be, how to operate. This is how you should do it. This is what you should do. This is this. And then they take all the glory. The Don Juans of everyone that we've ever worked for take all the glory. You get what I'm saying?
No.
Okay.
No. But if it's what I believe, I've been told that you always give out the plan, right?
What does that mean?
You always tell people, look, this is what you should do, right? And then that guy's successful, right?
You're like the consultant.
So yeah, and I don't get paid for it, right? So what's wrong with that?
What's wrong with telling people what to do with it?
No, not what to do. It's like, our cousin Balo in Juarez.
Yeah.
Mike said that we were in Juarez and Balo had the opportunity to get into the trash business there in Juarez. And so he tells me, you know what? I'm given the opportunity to buy or be a participant in the biggest trash collecting, right? What do you think? I said, well, how many trucks? 2 or 3. I said, this is what you're going to do. And there at the bar, I grabbed a napkin. You're going to do this. I don't remember that. And Mike told me that when he went out there, Balo saved that napkin.
The napkin. I saw the napkin.
He goes, I'm successful because of your dad. Here's a plan right here on this,
No
on this
way.
napkin. So what's wrong with that?
Okay, so let me ask you this.
Other people are getting credit for your ideas and your work.
Yeah.
That's not.
You're literally
that's not my idea. I don't want to be in the trash business.
No, I'm just saying.
No, that's not the point. You're literally the muse to other people. You give them an entire outline, an entire plan. Do this.
Did you watch the Coco movie?
Coco?
It's like the Coco movie.
The Pixar Coco movie?
Remember the guy?
Did you watch
the
it?
guy was the one writing the music.
Yeah, Ernesto de la Cruz killed him and stole his music.
Hold on. Dad, did
What?
you watch Coco?
No.
What?
Oh my
Wait.
God.
Yes, you
Wait.
did.
No,
You
the
had to.
Pixar movie.
I don't want to talk about that movie. It reminds me of my son.
What son?
And it is your son. What son?
Wait,
His
oh
favorite.
my God.
His favorite son. What are you talking about?
His only son.
It is your son's favorite movie.
It's been 3 months, and I said, "How are you, son?" And I'm waiting there for that little gray check mark to turn blue.
Damn it.
You know,
Michael Mota, I hope you're
until I
listening
fall
to
asleep
this.
with the phone like this. I look in the morning. Is it blue? He didn't look at it. So son, when you listen to this, I just want to say, remember me. Don't have to say goodbye. Remember me. Don't let it make you cry.
Shots fucking fired. Shots.
Miko, I love you.
Michael Mota,
Oh my
please
God.
text your father as soon as possible.
I have no words right now.
I have no words either.
I have no words.
That was it.
You want to see the gray check mark?
I'm embarrassed. I am embarrassed
My
right now.
brother left my dad on red.
As a representative.
Bravo.
This is gold. I love
Bravo.
this. Put him on blast. Call your daddy. Call your daddy. Yeah. What's wrong with you, mate? Call your daddy, damn it.
Thanks again, everybody, for listening to this special episode. Make sure to join us again next week for the conclusion of this episode. See you then.
Thank you to everyone who joined us this week. I am Rickie Mota, and I'm joined by the beautiful Natalie Mota. And we're live from Rose City Sound Studio in the beautiful Inland Empire. Shouts out to Big Brother Jake for all of the love and support. Today's episode was produced by the infamous Juice Box Bartley. We are on this frequency. Make sure to share us, like us. We drop a new episode every Wednesday. Wherever you listen to podcasts, that's where you'll find us. Make sure if you have any questions, you got topics you want to talk about, hit us up, email us on this frequency at gmail.com. Support the movement, drop it like it's hot. See you later, y'all. Meow, 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 meow. Fucking shitballs.
When I land, don't think about the distance. Do you understand? Not everything is missing. Oh.